I'm Dr. Harvey from milesoflearning.com, and today we're going to talk about how to use video games in your classroom and what that might look like depending on what you're teaching. So, a lot of times right off the bat I hear from teachers, well, how can we even use video games or virtual reality or augmented reality in the classroom? How is that going to fit into my curriculum? And I think that's a good question, but we have to look at video games and virtual and augmented reality as a content vehicle. Something that's going to take us from point A to point B, and with it, we're going to do something of value. Discussion, an activity. You use whatever you think is appropriate, and you use the technology as a supplemental piece, or if you're daring, you use it as the meat of your curriculum. And for language arts teachers, you could focus on a game and treat it like literature and go through the whole process like you would through a book. If you are studying science and agriculture, you may play Farming Simulator 18, and you might play every 2 weeks as it pertains to whatever you're focusing on in that class, and then you can go into the game and look at how that is, and then connect it to anything else you were doing to supplement that topic. So for whatever you teach, video games don't need to take the center stage. Virtual reality headsets don't need to be on all the time, but they need to be an option and a resource. And that means looking into how they could fit into your curriculum. This is how language arts teachers know where to put in a book in their curriculum, because they have an idea of that book's theme or relevance, and they know at what point in the year they want to hit what Common Core State Standard, and so they know then that they want to read To Kill a Mockingbird, Semester 2 of 9th grade English. And such can be the same with technologies, where a teacher might say, during my reading of informational text section for spring semester for 10th graders, they're going to be experiencing VRV, PlayStation VR experiences, and then writing about them. And then kind of talking about how they made sense of what they saw based on the visuals and information. These are new ways that we're connecting to old standards with students who aren't necessarily connecting with a lot of the old paradigms of how we teach reading and writing, which are all very valuable, but we need to bridge the gap between what students use outside of school with what students use inside of school. And teachers need to take a look at what they're using, kind of take a inventory audit of what they're using to teach their students, and see, are their students using that to learn in their everyday lives? And see if you can somehow connect the two. You want your students to be learning how to use technology as tools to solve problems, not as calculators to make and create answers. We want tools to help us. Jamie Kasich from Google, he says we're 13 seconds away from finding out the answer to anything. I think that is true, and we have to then give our students these powerful tools and give them purpose and let them find out what's interesting to them through the use of these tools as strategies towards learning outcomes. So if you have the chance this year at some point in any unit, maybe even a day, bring technology into your classroom that you might not normally bring in, like a headset or a console, a Game Boy, a Wii. Think about things that might spice up your curriculum and relate with kids. It might help, and it's a great way to connect with students and to reach out to their literacies to find out what's valuable to them. Thanks, and if you like this video, look at my other videos on the channel, Focus Research, Video Games, and Literacy, and I have more coming.